Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome to SpeedTutor, and today I'm going to show you how to make your Steampage look more enticing. We're going to need a couple of tools to make this happen. You can just use the free version of ChatGPT because we're going to make sure that all our text in the game that are going to be in English, that are all grammatically correct because English might not be your first language, or you might need some suggestions. We will also need a program like Photoshop so we can create animated gifs more easily with the exact size that we want. And of course, you can comment down below from anything that I mentioned in this video if you've got suggestions how to do things better, because then we can help everybody out. But you can follow my game because I'm making a rework to it in 2024. And I'll put little annotations in this video so you can jump to wherever you want if you want to make animated GIFs, if you want to look at how to formulate your descriptions, and you want to do things like that. On my page here, this is just a draft, so I've made some edits to things, and it's just a basic looking Steampage. And I don't really have a short description. I've got some images and a trailer. I do have a news announcement, but my description's looking a little bit boring. Now I'll go through each of the sections in turn and we'll look at these, but I will show you how to improve them by looking at my live page here. So we've got more of an enticing short description, which you can have the free version of AI help you do it. You always want to make sure that your best screenshots and your best footage is at the top, of course. You want as many features as you can. And in my completed page, I've got some animated GIFs. I've got more things split down into sections and little things to entice the user's eye to look at it. And you can even use a section here to create announcements for something that you want people to be drawn into. I will show this in my own Steam settings too. So when you're creating your page, you want to make sure that you have all your developer information and any external links to places where you want people to go, and link any other social medias that you have. You need to make sure that you input keywords that are related to your product, name the minimum requirements, and it's great if you can support other languages because that will also entice people to your page. You need to make sure exactly what type of game support, so this mine was single player. It's great to add more additional features like Steam achievements and trading cards because it really entices people to want to play. As I said, I am creating the update for Left Alone, so I will have more features when I remake this. Make sure you have set the genres of your game, and then make sure to use this tag manager to be able to follow the process and put exactly all the tags that are specific to the Steam system. You can just click begin and make sure you choose everything that's relevant to you as you move along. Now, I will say for descriptions, you can do a few things to make it look more interesting. So say we take a look at this description here, that you can add things like lists and bullet points. So say each of mine here are different bullet points. What you can do is you can just grab the entirety of some of your points to split them up into sections. So we can just set these all to list by selecting them and just pressing the list button, and it will add it to a list format, which will add them nicely in bullet points. Then make sure to press save, and we've got things split out much nicer into bullet points for the key features so people can really see exactly what they might want to look at. And say we wanted to highlight each of the sections, which is say psychological horror, because I've given them little captions, so we can actually bold those to make them stand out. So as you can see here, it's much more prominent that I can see it's psychological horror. It's got spooky environments, an eerie atmosphere, and a little bit of description. And you can see on the key features, I've just added the H2 tag, and you can see that it adds it in a different color if you want to really get the differentiation. And remember, if you do want to make subheadings bold, you put that inside the H2 tags, just so you get a more bold looking subtitle. And now I've added in a few other subtitles, so you can see there's something about the development, the story, and other things, just to split up the content to draw the eye into specific places that the users might want to see. Now, one thing I will mention, it is great to have recent news and announcements that people can click on, and you can do and formulate that in your own news and events page, which is great to have something to always for users to be able to click on if it's a new update, something you've been working on, a new feature you're looking to add. So we've got a basic look of our description. We want to add something to our short description, which you might not know how to add, and we will look at animated GIFs shortly. So I've got ChatGPT here. I have the premium version. You can use the free version just to check your grammar in anything. And I've just added a few things into ChatGPT. So I wanted a short, engaging description, which was based on some keywords. So I've said my game Left Alone, first person psychological horror, solving puzzles, and a scary location. I've added something in for 300 words, and it might give me a more of an in-depth idea of what I could write. And I've also asked for a 300 character description, so exactly what I wanted for that short description that I might have wanted for my Steam page. In Left Alone, you're immersed in a spine-chilling first-person horror game. Navigate eerie environments, solve mind-bending puzzles, and uncover dark secrets. Each step deepens the terror. Are you brave enough to face the unknown alone? We could take that entire description and just add it into our Steam page. And now we get something written at the top, which is more compelling to maybe entice the user. And of course, you can modify this exactly how you like. Then from there, I did say you can add a special announcement section, and you can add a section here, which is special announcements. So you can give it the header, which might be, in my case, was the rework. I've got it in English. You can have an image in here as the custom banner, or you can just add your content as you would normally. So you can write your descriptions in here. You can add images by, if you click on here and you just click to add an image, you can put the link to the image here. Now, you can upload custom images straight to Steam. You can see here I've got a really thin image, which is about 608 pixels wide by 48 high. And then if you copy this link here, brackets and the Steam app, and you just paste it in between the image tags and you just press save, then you can see that we have the new announcement with the image and anything in there. And of course, you can add links by surrounding the text and adding the URL tags to another page. So I was going to show you how to create an animated GIF or something that can go on your page. And the resolution that you should have this is around 618 by 200 pixels. So then it'll fit nicely on your page. So I've got my trailer here. You can use any video footage that you want, and this will just be one way to create yourself a GIF. I've chosen this, which is just a normal 1920 by 1080. Now remember, I wanted this at 618 by 200. Now I've got a couple of ways that you can do this to export it. We can either do it in Photoshop or we can do it in Premiere itself. Now I will say that if you're going to do it in Photoshop, you can just export that sequence out and export as an animated GIF. And then we can edit in Photoshop if that's what you would prefer to use. Is go to my sequence settings and just set that at 618 by 200. And then if I crop the whole thing down, and then I just grab my original clip and scale that clip in so I get the exact size I want. And I could just maybe test my clip. Is that exactly what I want to show? Then we can go to a normal export. Again, I can export that as an animated GIF, and we need to make sure that the size is exactly what we wanted. Then make sure to export this one out as an animated GIF. And then you can see now that I have it rendered out exactly how I wanted. Now with my original animated GIF, which was this size, we can edit this in Photoshop. So let's open that animated GIF in Photoshop, and you can see it's built out in a bunch of layers, which are each frame of the animation. Now, if you go to Window and you enable Timeline, you get this timeline at the bottom, which is every single movement frame that you have. Now, what I like to do is start at the first frame, go to the end frame, hold Shift, select them all, and do the same on the actual layers stack, everything selected. Now, if I go to Image, Canvas Size, and then I scale this canvas down to 618 by 200, then we've got the much smaller canvas of our original image. I'm just going to press Ctrl T, and I'm just going to scale this image down. It might be a little bit laggy depending on what the quality of your computer is like. And then you can zoom in and we can place it within the bounds of what we might like to be visible. And now when I press enter, we can just run through this animation to check through that it's working correctly. And if you do get any additional frames or something added, you can always select one of these frames in the timeline and then click the little trash icon at the bottom. We can click File, Export, and then the Save to the Web, which is Legacy because it works the best. And then we can choose a GIF format, and you can just have it as no dither as an example, and you can just click Save. Now when you're here, you can see my Photoshop version, which we just created, because you can see I named it photoshop.gif. Then if we go back to our Steam admin page, so I'm just going to upload one of my GIFs, which was the Premiere version that I created. Both would work absolutely fine. Once that's uploaded, we can again select the entire link that we had here, go back to our description, and maybe I wanted to add this GIF to the top because I wanted people to see that first. Then I can select the image BB tag and just paste that link in between. Then if I save my page and go back to my Steam page, you can see that my GIF is now on my page, exactly the width of the page that we expected, and you can add those in between each element just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And like I said, then once you have everything together, you've got yourself your nice description, you've chosen all your images, you've got all your extra features, you might have yourself a news and announcement, you can have the special announcement, which is always at the top of your page, and then in your description, you can create and experiment with how you want it to visually look and add gifs to make it look more engaging for the user. So I hope you find this useful, and do be sure to check out all the links down below for all the best savings and sales that you can find for this month. Do be sure to check out my Patreon to get over 210 different scripts, assets and projects you cannot find anywhere else. Big thanks to all my patrons. Special thank you to Peter Steiner and everybody else who comes to watch the video. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Cheers.